Hi Aries, it's your girl D here with 8th House Energy, and I'm here to bring you your Scorpio. The South Node is in Scorpio, so this is your South Node in Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse reading. The lunar eclipse in Scorpio is going to be on May 16th. As you guys who follow the channel know, we deal heavily with astrology here, and we're dealing with the astrological placements. We're in a major transition phase right now, where we're going from the Gemini North Node to Gemini North Node, Sagittarius South Node to Taurus North Node, Scorpio South Node. And whenever the planetary nodes last in a sign, in each of the signs, the opposite polarity of the signs for 18 months. So it was in Gemini North Node, Sagittarius South Node for 18 months. And then it transitioned on, the date was on January 18th. However, the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse is when the energy actually transitions from Gemini North Node, Sagittarius South Node to Taurus North Node, Scorpio South Node. So as you all know, we just had the Taurus new moon partial solar eclipse about a week and a half ago. And then after every solar eclipse, 2 weeks later comes the lunar eclipse. So while the solar eclipse was going on with the North Node in Taurus, that was an energy of bringing awareness to what energies you still may have to deal with in reference to the last karmic cycle, which was the Gemini North Node, Sagittarius South Node. So it should be bringing that to you, whatever is unresolved, whatever you haven't cycled out of, in reference to karmic energies, people, places, things, ideas, relationships that no longer serve you, that you were to resolve in the last lunar cycle. Well, if you haven't resolved it, it's going to be coming to your mind right now. And what you're going to do is you're going to use the Mercury in retrograde energy, as well as the Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse energy, to eclipse out any ideas or thought processes that may have hindered you from ending karmic cycles from the last lunar cycle, right? So this is what we're in the midst of right now. We're in the midst of major energy shifts. A lot of you may be seeing a lot of people passing away around you. You may, if it's not around you or from people you know, you may be seeing a lot going on in the tabloids about people dying, whether it's people committing suicide or being murdered. And it's only because of the energies we're in with this Scorpio South Node energy. Unfortunately with Scorpio, we deal with transformation. And unfortunately, sometimes the transformation is a physical one. So this is why, and then we're in between eclipses, right? And we got the Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse coming up on the 16th. So we're starting to feel those energies. So unfortunately, there could be a lot of death going on. Whether you see it on the news, whether you see it going on personally in your world, okay? A lot of transition and transformation of energy, okay? On a brighter note, people are just transforming out of people, places, and things that no longer serve them, transitioning out of the mindset that they were in when they attracted those things, learning the lessons, and moving on. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull 3 sets of cards. We're going to pull cards for your Taurus North Node. We're going to pull cards for the Scorpio South Node. And we're going to pull cards for the energies that are squaring your North Node and your South Node. All right. So the energies that are squaring the North Node and South Node, when we talk about squares in an astrological sense, we're talking about lessons that you should have learned. Okay. So the lesson that you should have learned, or where the lesson would have come from or stemmed from, would have been in your Aquarius house, okay? So for you, your Aquarius house is your 11th house. All right, so now that I've said all of that, let's make it make sense, okay? Because some of you are like, what? Huh? What? So let's just make it make sense. So the overall energy for the reading is the 3 of Swords in reverse. This is Libra energy. So to me, this is an energy of letting go of some pain that you've experienced, realizing that there was something that could have come in the way of your understanding between you and someone else. That middle sword come between you two. That middle sword could be some type of communication, some type of misinformation. Because it's swords. Swords represent information or communication or thought processes. So you two may have just not been, you were not on the same page for some reason. We need to find out what that sword could have been. But even if we look at that, we know now you're past this point. You may have already resolved what this sword is now that this is in reverse here. All right. So let's take a look and see what's going on. But this could have also reverted you back to the Two of Swords, where you could still be in the process of trying to figure something out, you know, trying to make things fair and balanced, because we're dealing with Libra energy with this card. So where's the North Node for you? So Aries, the North Node for you is in the house of Taurus, which is your second house. So the cards that we have representing that are the Two of Cups, I'm sorry, the Page of Cups and the King of Cups. So we're looking at Cancerian and Scorpion energy. So heavy water energy. So a lot of emotion, okay, in your second house, which has to do with your self-esteem, your self-worth, also has to do with your money-making potential. Now, the opposite polarity of that is your Scorpio house. So your Scorpio house, we have the 10 of Cups and the Queen of Cups in reverse. So we got a lot of cup energy. We're dealing with a lot of emotion, okay? What's squaring each of these houses? Because whatever squares your North Node automatically squares your South Node, because your North Node and your South Node are 80 degrees, 180 degrees apart. So if you draw a circle, the top part of the circle would be your North Node. The bottom part would be the South Node. The middle portion of it, which is 90 degrees from your South Node and 90 degrees from your North Node, is what's squaring each. So that 90-degree angle falls in your 11th house, which is your house of Aquarius. And in that house, we have the King of Swords and the Four of Swords in reverse. So here we have some swords. So see, this is where logic prevails. So the lesson learned in the situation automatically has to do with you coming out of your emotions and using logic and thought. So let's talk about it. North Node, you're supposed to be moving towards these energies, because whatever your North Node is, those are the energies you're supposed to be guided towards. The lessons here that you learned should be pushing you towards your North Node. So what you're supposed to pick up in your North Node, or what you're supposed to be moving towards, is this King of Cup energy and this Page of Cup energy. So this could have something to do with children. It could have something to do with fatherhood. Or it could also have something to do with someone going from, growth in their emotional state. Okay, could have started off as a Page of Page of Cups, and then elevated to a King of Cups. So there was some lesson that went on here that elevated you, or that's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be elevating, and it could be within you, elevating and growing emotionally, letting go of some things that may have happened to you as a child, and healing that, and then as a result, you moving forward and becoming 100% able to manage your emotional energy. Because when you get to the king status, you've mastered it and you're able to act on it. Okay, so you're coming from the immature emotional state to the full grown emotional state. So that's evolution, right? And that's, of course, scorpionic energy. So you went through a transformation, or that's what you're supposed to be doing, right? Because that's your North Node. That's where you're supposed to be heading. So what could be stopping you from heading here? We know there's a lesson that needs to be learned. We'll talk about the lesson in a minute, because the lesson is going to have a direct effect on you heading here. And the lesson is also going to have a direct effect on what happened here, what is opposing you from getting here. So what's opposing you from getting there is your South Node energy. Your South Node energy is energy you've already mastered from the last nodal cycle. Right? And so now you're supposed to use that energy, and you're supposed to use it so that you move towards your North Node. This is energy you already know, you're already comfortable with. The unfortunate thing about it is that you may get stuck and stagnant in this energy. And you're like, well, what's the problem with that? Why can't I stay in this energy? I'm comfortable with it. I'm familiar with it. I know it. Why can't I marinate here? Why can't I chill here? Well, the thing is that on a spiritual level, you were brought down here to learn lessons, and your spirit is supposed to grow and evolve through the lessons you learn. If you stay stagnant, your spirit is not doing what it's supposed to be doing, which is supposed to be heading towards the North Node energies, meaning that you learned a lesson. Now it's time to move on. We get caught up in this 3D realm, and we get comfortable where we are, and we forget that we're spiritual beings. We are not humans. We are spiritual beings here in human form to have an experience, which is to learn lessons. so that the soul itself will continue to evolve. Whether you want it to or not, your soul will continue to evolve. And if you don't learn the lessons, then, it could get to the point where you could actually transcend up out of this physical realm, and then you have to come back and do it again. A lot of times that's what a lot of us are doing. We didn't learn the lessons from the last time. We got into so much, or we got so comfortable in our South Node energy that we stunted our growth. And stunting your growth can bring all types of negative energies and negative entities to you. Okay, so we want to avoid that. So let's look at what energies we're comfortable with, whatever you've already mastered, and what could be toxic to you and what you need to come up out of. So we have the Ten of Cup energy here and the Queen of Cup energy in reverse. So this is the Scorpionic energy here. This is the energy you've already mastered. So with the Scorpionic energy here, this is energy of transformation. Wherever Scorpio is in your chart, know that there is going to be transformation there. That is half of the battle with dealing with Scorpionic energy. Wherever it is in your chart, know that there is going to be constant change, constant transformation, because that Pluto energy is with what's in the 8th house. That represents your soul. Your soul has to constantly evolve. That's why Pluto is associated with the soul. Pluto is about death and rebirth, and Pluto rules the 8th house. All right. So in your 8th house, we have the Ten of Cups and the Queen of Cup energy in reverse. Now, to get an understanding of what this Ten of Cup and this Queen of Cup in reverse is, let's look at the lesson you needed to learn. So the lesson is your Aquarius house, which is in your 11th house. So your 11th house has to do with forward movement. It has to do with futuristic things, moving forward growth. So with the King of Swords here and the Four of Swords in reverse, right now Saturn is in Aquarius. Okay, so Saturn has to do with time. Saturn tells us, okay, it's time to grow up. It's time to move on. It's time to evolve. You've learned this lesson. Let's go. Saturn also is the ruler of, okay, this is what you need to learn. You need to be disciplined. Okay, you can't do too much of this. No, restrictions is what Saturn deals with. And so what we're dealing with your Saturn and Aquarius energy, as far as where the lesson is, we're looking at what you need to outgrow, what lessons you should have learned by now, and what you should have taken from that lesson so that you can move forward with the Aquarius energy. So the lesson here talks about the King of Swords and the Four of Swords in reverse. So the King of Swords energy, this is all about looking at the reality of the situation. Kings are all about action-oriented energy. So taking action to cut off things that, with the Four of Swords in reverse, cause you anxiety, cause you stress, don't bring you peace. They constantly, the Four of Swords is, this could be some type of negative communication that is bringing imbalance in your life. Because if you look, the Four of Swords in reverse reverts down to what? It reverts down to the Three of Swords. So the overall energy for your reading is the Three of Swords in reverse. So when we're looking at the Four of Swords upright, right? This is about being at peace with your thoughts and your ideas. This is also about getting good rest, getting good sleep. Okay, resting assured on what your thoughts are, knowing that your thoughts are balanced. You're not off thinking something crazy. You're not having a personality disorder. You're not bipolar. You're not schizophrenic. You're not hearing things. You're not seeing things. Everything's balanced and aligned. When this is in reverse, there could be any of those personality disorders going on, but it could also just be that you're not accepting the reality of a situation. And so when we take the sword, if you take one sword minus the -4, what does it bring you? It brings you, again, Three of Swords in reverse, right? Because we got Four of Swords in reverse minus the King of Swords. All right, so when you're dealing with astrology and tarot, sometimes you have to implement mathematics. All right, so this is when it could become like scientific in a way, because math deals with, science deals with mathematics. So this is why I like astrology. Now, the Three of Swords energy here. So the King of Swords is Aquarius energy. So Aquarius energy is all about accepting the reality of the situation, accepting the truth with the situation, taking the information you have and detaching and moving forward. All right, so this is the energy of, okay, I'm no longer going to be focused on things that don't make sense. They don't make logic, because when it's in reverse, it's not making sense. When it's upright, it makes sense, which is why your mind is at peace. In reverse, it's not. So there's some things that were going on that were not making sense. And so you had to take your King of Swords energy and cut that out. All right? Cut it out. And so as a result of you cutting it out, you got over whatever was bothering you, whatever was mentally bothering you, whatever thought process you were using that wasn't making logic, okay? And we know that that was the case because we're dealing with a lot of emotional energy here, right? With the King of Cups. So it's all about growing up emotionally. So for some of you, it could have been something that you experienced with your childhood and in your family dynamics, because we have the Ten of Cups here and the Queen of Cups in reverse. So some of you, it could have been, what was going on emotionally with you. It could have been something that was going on with your mom. Maybe your mom wasn't emotionally supportive. Maybe there wasn't emotional nourishment there. It could have been family dynamics, but this could also have, played out as a child, and then later on as an adult, you attracted relationships and connections with people who tapped into that frequency of whatever wasn't healed within you. Because again, we're dealing with a lot of emotions. So I feel like you may have cut out relationships that tapped into that unhealed energy. Because the Queen of Cups, when she's in reverse, this is somebody who's not listening to their intuition. This is somebody who's emotionally unstable in some way, shape, or form. Okay? Your emotions and feelings are not stable. They're not aligned. And so if your emotions and feelings are not stable and aligned, then, your logic is not stable as well. So there's definitely an uneven balance here. And you had to do whatever you had to do to bring balance to your emotional state. So now that you've brought a balance, or you're in the process of bringing balance to your emotional state, which is in your second house has to deal with your self-esteem, your self-respect. And that has a direct reflect on how much money you make. So you had to mature in this area. So once you mature, once you go from the Page to the King, you're going to be able to manifest. I did a reading for you guys, talked about the art of manifestation, the last reading I did for you. That was your Taurus North Node reading. This one focuses on the Scorpio South Node reading. Okay? So in order for you to manifest, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to look at your 8th house, because your 8th house is a direct reflection of why you're not able to manifest materially. So what was going on there is there was some type of mix up with emotions, okay? There could have been some manipulative energy that you were exposed to, okay? With the Ten of Cups, it could have been a relationship, or it could have been, it stemmed from a family dynamic that wasn't healed as a child. You had to go through some type of adult relationship where you went through this relationship and you ended up cutting it off because you realized it wasn't normal and you were acting out of a place where it was blocking your emotional state, or it was tapping into some unhealed emotions. You realized that was the lesson you had to learn, and then you moved on, and now you manifest. Okay, so you guys, I actually saw a couple of readings. I didn't watch them. I don't watch a lot of readings. That's not healthy for me. So I don't watch a lot of readings, but I do see titles and things like that. And I saw a lot of titles with Aries, with manifesting money, coming into money, wealth, and things like that. That's because you closed out a karmic cycle where you healed whatever that was, because we're dealing with your second house, which is the house that deals with whatever you were learned as a child. That fight or flight response. Also, it deals with the fact that, for example, I like to think of the second house as the house where if you're a child and you cry out, does your parent come to you? Are they attentive to you? Or do they just let you cry? So for some of you in the past, your family may not have been emotionally there for you. Maybe they were the type that let you cry and they gave you basically what you needed, and that was it. They didn't hold you. They didn't nourish you emotionally. And so as a result, you grew up wanting and needing that emotional nourishment. And so as an adult, you may have attracted people who picked up on that frequency, because they could have been in the same boat where they didn't get the emotional nourishment. It's like looking for love in all the wrong places type thing when you become an adult and that energy is not healed. So you start looking for that type of energy, and you may have run into it in the form of friendships, lovers, or business partners, where you saw how unbalanced it was, and you're like, wait a minute, why am I dealing with this? There's got to be a reason I'm dealing with this. And if it doesn't make sense, I need to cut it off. So at one point, it was painful for you. but you turned that around and you healed that, or that's what you're going to do with this energy. So right now, what should be coming to the forefront of your mind is, if you haven't healed it, why haven't I healed this? Why am I still in this relationship or still dealing with these types of people who treat me terribly, who don't recognize and respect my emotions and my feelings? So that lesson is being brought to you so that you do something about it. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to evolve and say, no, I deserve better. These people are not going to give me better. I'm going to cut them off. And that's going towards your North Node. That's you going from emotionally immature to emotionally mature and being able to act on it. So that's what's popping. All right. Now, as a result, you're going to be able to manifest, because that's your second house. That talks about your physical manifestations, right? Your money making opportunities, money making potential, how much money you can make. And as long as you're emotionally mature at this state, you're going to be able to make money, baby. All right. Now let's take a look at the top 5 cards. So we got the Three of Swords in reverse. We have the Fool energy, major arcana of Uranus. Now Uranus is in Taurus right now. Your North Node energy. So you're going towards that. You've let go of the past, or for some of you, you will. You'll get it together, and you will. And you'll let go of that, so it won't be causing you pain anymore. And you're going to be on a new cycle. A brand new cycle, which is this Taurus North Node, Scorpio South Node cycle. That's what's popping, okay? 4 of Wands, your spirit is going to be at peace now, okay, with the 4 of Wands energy. All right, so you're going to be at peace emotionally and spiritually. And so as a result, a new financial windfall, or a new financial positive cycle is coming to you with the Wheel of Fortune. Positive things, good luck, good fortune, manifestation. I can't make this up. That's why I told you about your second house, right? And so this is an energy with the 3 of Cup energy in reverse. This is you letting go of those energies or those people, and not reconciling with those people or those energies or those ideas that puts you in a position where you were not able to deal with the fact that, okay, there was some emotional lack here. I need to fix it. I can't depend on other people to come into my life and fix it for me, because these people are coming into my life and showing me what I need to do. And if you look at people who come into your life to teach you and they bring you challenge, if you look at it from that way, that's looking at it from a spiritual higher level perspective. You're not looking at it from a 3D mundane level. When you look at it from that perspective, when there's challenge in a relationship, what is this person trying to show me about myself? Okay, do I need to cut this person off, or do I need to make a change in a different way so that the relationship with me and this person will be cohesive? Sometimes you have to cut the person off, because sometimes you realize, okay, I made the change, but yet this person is still acting in the same state of mind as if I didn't. Right? And if that's the case, then you know that this is a lesson. And okay, this person came in the form of a lesson. Now that I've learned a lesson, unfortunately, I have to let go of this person. I have to detach. And that's what the Aquarius energy is. The Aquarius energy tells you to detach from unrealistic emotional connections. All right, toxic emotional connections. And that's what we were dealing with in the Scorpio house. It could have been some family members or a mother figure that you had a toxic, whoever your nurturing figure was, or maybe you didn't have one. Maybe your mother wasn't around when you were growing up. And maybe it was a family situation, or it was a situation here where your family didn't deal with emotions like that. It was like your family was providers. They made sure you had everything you needed, but the emotional support wasn't there. And that could have been something you were lacking. As a result, adult relationships came in your way to teach you, okay, yeah, this person's taking advantage of my emotional lack. Why do I keep attracting these types of people? You hear the sirens? Why do I keep attracting these type of people who play with my feelings or play with my emotions? What I need to do is understand why I'm being vulnerable to that. And that's what you're doing when you're going towards your North Node. All right? And so these cards represent your journey. Now that you've learned that, you let go of that pain, and now you start a brand new cycle. And as a result of you starting a brand new cycle, your soul is at ease. Positive things are coming to you. Good money, good fortune, good luck are coming to you, as long as you don't go back to that cycle with the 3 of Cup energy in reverse. For some of you, you may have been, treating your emotions with alcoholism, drug abuse, drug use, food addictions. Because if we look at the 10 of Cups upright minus 1 cup here, that brings us to the 9 of Cups. So the 9 of Cups is indulging in things, right? Self-indulgences. Things that make you feel emotionally secure. So a lot of people will, use all sorts of things to do that. It could be sex, overindulging in sex, overindulging in food, overindulging in intoxicants, things to cope the pain. So some of you have realized, I can't keep doing this anymore. I got to figure out what the root of it is. And you figured it out, most of you. And then the rest of you, this reading may help you it may snap something in you like, yeah, okay, I get it now. And now you're going to be able to manifest. And that's beautiful. Make sure you check out that video. I'm going to put it at the end of this video, so that you're able to see what I was talking about, especially if this resonates with you. Okay, and if that other reading resonated with you, then this one should as well. Because the way I do my readings is based on the planetary alignments. And those planetary alignments are going to have the similar theme for you, no matter what type of reading I do. Like, because all of the alignments are connected for you. Without me getting too deep, because I don't want to lose anybody. But for those of you who understand and you know your natal chart and things like that, you get what I'm saying. Okay? So, let's get a card here for advice and we'll wrap up your reading. This was dope, Aries. I like this. This is progress. You definitely evolved. Or you will be, or you're in the process of doing it. Use that Mercury retrograde energy in Gemini, because that energy is going to help you think about, okay, what was the mindset I was in when I was doing those things, or when I was dealing with those people, or when I was involved in that situation, or when I was thinking like that. Why was I thinking that? So Mercury retrograde in Gemini is all about your thoughts and your ideas. Why you had those thoughts and ideas, and what those thoughts and ideas manifested in your life when you followed them, right? And so then you're going to use the Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse to eclipse out what no longer was serving you, so that you can move forward with that new journey. You're eclipsing out what no longer was serving you, what was causing you pain, and then you start a new journey with this Uranus and Aries energy. Uranus energy, which is in Taurus, because you're moving towards your Taurus North Node energy. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it for you, boo. So good luck and congratulations, because that's no easy feat. All right, I may be able to explain it like it is, but we all know when it comes time to put foot to the pavement, it's no easy task. Okay, yeah. See, look at that. Change is in the wind, baby. Transformation is here, and this is a transformation that's going to be good for you. So try not to fight it. If it's a situation here, well, I don't want to let that go. I don't want to stop drinking. I don't want to stop smoking. I don't want to stop. It's because it's helping. Whatever you're using that as a crutch. And you ain't going to need that crutch no more. So, if you have to, get some assistance in some way, shape, or form to quit drinking, smoking, overeating, gambling, whatever you may have used to, sex, whatever you may have used to quell those, emotional situations. Or you may find that once you do the healing and you end up leaving those situations, you may not desire those things as much as you used to anymore. You may find that, damn, I'm not overeating like I used to. I don't find myself eating as much. I don't find myself wanting to drink or smoke or pop pills or whatever. I don't find myself wanting to do that as much, because that's healed. And you were using that as a coping mechanism when you were not well emotionally. So change is coming. That's beautiful. I love it. All right. So that's what I got for you, Aries, for your full moon. Your full moon in Scorpio, South Node, lunar eclipse reading. All right. Thank you guys for checking out the video. If it resonated with you or someone you know, make sure you click the like button. Leave me a comment if you can. If the comments are turned off, leave it on another video. I have to go back and repeat it just to check to make sure the comment section is open. YouTube is doing me dirty. I'm sorry. All right. So I never intentionally turn off the comment section. I'm not that type of person. All right. I leave the comment section on. I want to hear. Now, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. All right. That way you'll know when I post. I'm going to start working on you guys' individual North Node readings next. Okay. So make sure you check out the one from last week, especially if you're an Aries North Node. But no matter what your North Node is, go into the playlist for whatever your North Node is in and check out that reading for last month. And then look at the one we're going to do for this month. Okay. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. There's a lot of activity going on out here. I told you with the Scorpio South Node energy, we got a lot of transformation going on out in the world. So just be careful. Take care of yourself. Think before you act, right? And then, do your thing, because your transformation is beautiful. I love it. I wish you the best. Take care, Aries.